Hello everyone, and today I'm going to be giving you a little rundown on the Portal 2 DLC 2 for PC and Mac. What this DLC pack will contain is an in-game editor for players to quickly get a test chamber out of their head and into the game with ease and speed. It will also contain the community, which will allow them to share their maps amongst other players, including a rating system and other wonderful tools to help get you known. Now you can submit maps that you've made as in Hammer as well, so don't worry, if you use the actual level tool, you won't be left out. So let's go ahead and get started. Your newest menu option here is the community test chamber. So click that. We have create, view my workshop, and play community test chambers. I'll show you guys all of these. But first we're going to go to create, and we're going to do view test chamber. It'll go ahead and load up the editor. It'll take a moment. Now inside the editor, we're presented with a blank room for us to do our bidding with it. Now you may notice a few things about the room and the editor. We're able to move around with just a pan of the mouse. We can zoom in and out with scroll wheel, and it's a very simple tool to use. You can switch to game view very easily and directly, and then once you're in game, everything's just compiled for you, and then you can exit right back to the editor to get a real feel. Now we can just go ahead and we'll add a couple things really quick, and then we'll just hit that in-game view, and now you notice it's not there yet because there's a little more to it yet. So I've just Control Z to get rid of those. Now here's a few things about the chamber that are required. Entrance, exit, and this little light. You need this little light doohickey here, otherwise you're gonna have a bad time. This provides the dynamic lighting for the chamber and makes it look pretty. Now you may be wondering, but how do I change the environment? So this is actually really simple. The easiest way to change the environment is just to select it and drag it. So we're able to easily manipulate our environment to be what we want it to be. So I'm just going to go ahead and shape this a little bit so that way we have a little test chamber to work with. I'm going to create a test chamber where the goal here is to get a cube on a button that's up here. But I don't want these to be portable, so I'll just change those to non-portable surface. And adding a button is as easy as can be. You just come to your tool set on the left, click, and drop it. Now if we want to hook that button up to something, we just right click on it, hit connect to, and it gives us this little tool option, and we click on the door. Now we want the door to be over here though, so it's a little more recognized. Go ahead and strip that away. And move the window tool there. Alright. Pretty good so far. Now we'll just add a few more things to get the player to do what we want them to do. So I want to use a little velocity here, so I need to raise the ceiling up so I can get some height. And we'll make this a little difficult for them. They're going to get a cube, which is going to be everyone's favorite companion cube. And adding a cube cannot be simpler. You're just going to click and drag, and it automatically does the cube for you. Now every entity has options that you can select, which you just look at with a right click. You can see connect to, the cube type, if it's enabled, if it'll drop the cube on the spawner, if it'll already spawn when the cube is lost. Now we're going to do a couple different things. We're going to add a little pool of water so you guys can see how that's done. You just drag it down, just lower the floor, click the water tool, bam. There you go. Water was never easier. Now, we can just go ahead and add this area for the player to get a velocity. So you can get the cube up there, easy as pie. Okay. And we'll just add some lasers. We'll add a little bit of this test chamber. The face plates are really easy to do as well. You just kind of put the face plate, and then you choose your exit, how high you want the player to go. It's really simple. And you can add walls to prevent the player from going somewhere. And of course, everyone's favorite laser relays. which are really, really fun to use. So, now we have our simple test chamber. Let's go ahead and test it really quick. So to do that, you just click build and play. And it's going to go ahead and compile the test chamber. This will take a little bit to do depending on the size of the test chamber and the speed of your computer. Alright, and now we're in our map that we just made. Here we go. It's automatically added the cube. There's music, some dynamic lighting from a projected texture, faithfully, the water, our laser. Let's go ahead and solve our test chamber. And once your level's complete, it just goes ahead and starts you over at the beginning again. The easiest way, and then the easiest way out is just press escape, go exit editor. Now we have our simple test chamber made. I'm just going to click File, and click Save. And click Simple Test Chamber. And then you can provide a brief description for if you're posting online. And you save it. Now if you want to publish your map, you just go to File and then Publish. And it'll take a moment to go ahead and publish. It's going to build it again, so it's going to compile it one last time. And then it'll put it up on their server. Alright, it gives us a little preview thing again. And you can choose who you want it to publish it for people only on your friends list or for everyone. I'm going to publish this to my friends only because I don't want anyone to see this atrocity. So let's publish. It'll go ahead and upload the file to their site now. Alright, I'll open up the Steam Workshop, and here is my test chamber that has been added. Which is it's a pretty simple thing. People have comments, they can thumbs it up, thumbs it down, or they can report it, tells them the file size, and it automatically tags it based upon what things you've added to the test chamber. Maybe you can edit those manually as well. Now let's go ahead and take a look at how the community looks to other players. So we can go ahead and hit play community, and you'll notice that there is a queue system. Now the queue system keeps maps that you have in your queue, and you add the maps via an online web browser, which is the Browser Workshop through Steam Community. It also keeps track of the history of what you've played, so if you've already played one once, you can go ahead and play it again easily. So the little buttons are kind of messed up here at the bottom. Some text is messed up. But of course, this is still in beta. So I'll go ahead and click Browse, and give it a moment to load. And here we go. Here's all the other test chambers. So we can just go ahead, we can look through these. There's already a ton of them on here from the various beta testers. And we'll just find a simple one really quick. We'll download it and we'll solve it. Here we go, bombs away. And we'll go ahead and should play it. And we actually hit add to queue, that little plus thing. There we go. Then, as you see, it just added it to our queue, which is bombs away. And we'll go ahead and we'll just hit play. Load up the map. Here we go. And there you go. Then after you're done playing a community test chamber, you can just go ahead and thumbs it up, thumbs it down. And then you can exit to queue. And that is the in-game side of the Portal 2 DLC 2 update. Now I'm going to go ahead and jump into Hammer World Editor, and we'll get some understanding as to how levels are made in-game. Alright, so the levels are currently being saved into the test folder for the mod. It should be about Steam at 41. Then SDK content. Maps. Alright. Then there's our map file with the automatically generated number. Just go ahead and click open. Hammer will go through the process of loading the instances as well as the level. We'll gain an understanding very quickly on how the level has been generated in-game for anyone that really wants to know. So here is the level here. So we can see everything is relatively close to what we had. If you know what instances are, that's what it uses to generate everything is an instance. All the lights are instanced. It automatically does all that. The triggers for the lighting to come on and the music start, once again an instance. Since it uses a 64 grid for everything, the entire world is based on a 64 grid. So we can see that here, which isn't bad, just you wouldn't want to use this in a final release. So if you know how to use Hammer, make sure that you use Hammer if you're going to do a final release for something on like a professional level. But this is a very good tool for plotting out a level, getting an idea out there quickly. And for people who are just making test chambers for fun, this is going to be a great tool. We're going to see a lot of great original custom content along with some bad content that comes with it. But for the most part, the community is amazing, and we'll see some really good maps come of this. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me via comment or email. All my information is in the description below. Thanks for watching, and if you feel like it, subscribe.